Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant and this is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. To all the new subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here with me and joining me, and those of you that are going through some of my older videos, excuse me because I look like a little puff fish, but that's all right. We've moved on and let's leave that in the past. But hopefully you guys are getting something out of these videos, and I'm so grateful for those of you that share that information with me. Today I wanted to address, one of the viewers sent me an email and she said I almost got it. I just hadn't addressed the topic yet, and one of the things that she was saying is that all victims, and I'll give it a title after I'm finished talking, but all victims are not hurt, that some victims are angry, and especially because the narcissist is convincing people that you're jealous or that you guys are jealous. Okay, so let's address the first thing first. Okay, so hurt is an emotion. And hurt is usually an indicator that, you have been emotionally wounded. Hurt can be so deep and so intense that it manifests in physiological, it manifests physiologically. So deeply hurt that your heart hurts. The same pain receptors in your brain, the same chemicals in your brain that perceives physical pain, you put your hand on the iron, whatever, are the same receptors or the same chemicals in your brain that perceives emotional pain as well. So it's the same chemicals or same brain receptors that understand or perceive pain. And so emotional pain can be so deep, which some of you have experienced and said, can be so deep and so intense that physiologically you begin to feel it. You feel it in your heart, your chest, your muscles, your neck. It begins to manifest in your body. You feel like vomiting. Some of you guys felt like vomiting. Your stomach hurt, you can't sleep, your head is hurting. If untreated or if unaddressed, it can manifest into major depressive disorder. It can also begin to manifest into anger and then manifest into rage. And in that rage, you can do a lot of damage. People have gotten killed because people have become impulsive. So because they have been hurt, they have been offended, some of you guys have been left. Your kids have been taken, the marriage or the relationship that you thought you had, all of a sudden they have another family and you knew nothing about this family. 1 minute this person is the love of your life and you're everything, that you could have been everything to this person, and the next minute they have a whole nother family or a whole nother person, new supply, as if you never existed, or the life that you had, you put things on a hold, you've put your life on hold, you've put your career on hold, your health on hold to make sure that you love and take care of this person, only to have a person stab you in your back. Of course you are deeply wounded and hurt. Now, some people, instead of getting hurt first, their hurt is expressed in anger and rage. Think about it. For some of you guys that found out that the narcissist had a whole nother relationship with someone else, or children with someone else, and you knew nothing about it, your first response was not tears. Yours was tears and rage. You wanted to go kill the person. You wanted to go fight the person, run your car through the house. There were things that you wanted to do, and hopefully someone talked you out of it. But if not, somehow or another, you did not get to that individual and you did not do any harm. Some of you guys did do harm and got domestic violence charges, and you're thinking, how in the world did I get the domestic violence charge? I've been going through domestic violence, but you lost control for that moment. I have worked with people years ago. I remember working with a gentleman who had a serious rage problem. Angry. When he came in, he had permanent frown lines on his forehead. I used to have permanent frown lines right there in the middle of my forehead. But he had permanent frown lines in his forehead. He was always, I don't know if it's called grimacing. He was always, frowned and angry, and his teeth, you can see where his teeth were worn down from clenching his teeth. He had TMJ, I think is the muscle problems in his jaw. He had GERD, he had ulcers, he had neurological problems, the nerves in his neck and his back. He had, I think he had sciatic pain, he had peripheral nerve damage, he had muscle tension. They didn't know whether he had fibromyalgia, they didn't know if he had lupus. He had tension headaches, and they turned into migraine headaches. He was so angry, and I worked with him for months and months. And what I found was, as I started discovering his history was, and he had a hatred for homosexual men. I mean, he had a hatred for them. He struggled with that, and come to find out that growing up as a little boy, his I don't know if it was a stepfather or his mother's boyfriend violently sexually molested him and abused him for many, many years. And his mother was aware of it and didn't do anything to protect him. And come to find out that the rage, he experienced was the fact that he struggled with the fact that he says, Dr. Carmen, well, I wasn't a doctor then, he was like, Carmen, I'm not gay. And I had to explain to him, just because you were molested by a man does not make you gay. You were molested by a man, but that does not make you gay. And he struggled with that for a long time. And working with him, he began to realize that he was so hurt and so broken, and he was angry at women because he associated women with his mom, that he wouldn't be protected, that he was angry. And as I began to work when we got him on the right medications, I began to work with him. He learned to forgive. Believe it or not, he learned to forgive. And a lot of his stomach problems went away. A lot of the nerve problems in his neck went away. His headaches started going away. He actually started joking with me. Him and I would joke and laugh, and he felt relieved. He felt relieved that he wasn't gay, and I explained to him that's not, that, just because that happened doesn't make you gay. That doesn't work that way, but he even had an acceptance for homosexual men, even though the man that molested him. So his hurt and his pain was expressed through anger and rage, bitterness. And so it's interchangeable, because, through hurt, it can manifest itself in anger. And so it kind of works simultaneously together. Second of all, you have to remember, dealing with a narcissist, especially, really all of them, it's a matter of my appearance too, so especially somatic, you discarded or they discarded. Remember, they created a story when they met you. And so going with the new supply and having friends and a new group of friends, you guys may have had friends. Let's say you as a couple had, friends, mutual friend. You had mutual friends as a couple. Now, of course, with the mutual friends as a couple, when you guys broke up, you found out that some had more loyalties to the narcissist, so that is you're starting from ground zero. And so those are their friends. Leave them alone. They're their friends, and they are their supporters, and they're going to believe anything, and they're going to tell a story. They're going to create a story so that they would look good. And so this individual may have left you for another man or for another woman, but of course, what do you expect? Some of you are going through the child support system, or the, common sense would tell them, but they don't have common sense. Child support is to take care of the child. You have children, you are responsible for helping take care of the children, together. And that requires child support. If a person has given up their life, and every state is different, if a person has totally given up their life, their dreams and everything, and really has invested in, being a house dad or a house mom, it's only right that individual get some type of spousal support to get themselves back on their feet, because those are all those years they invested that they could have went to school. They could have built a career. They could have built a business. So it's only right to support them as they're starting all over again. Some judges give it for a lifetime. Some judges give it for a certain period of time for that individual to go back to school, to get on their feet, to start all over again. But the narcissist always looks at it as you're taking something from them and I have to win. Not only that, if people actually talk to you, I have to make sure that they hear my story, because if people talk to you, they'll find out about you. And now the story, the truth behind it is not, I left him for another man, or I left her for another, and this is just their habit. For some of them that are somatic, this is just their habit. They don't tell that part of the story. Their part of the story is you're jealous. You're jealous, that's why you're pursuing me in court. You're jealous because you're money hungry. You're jealous because I'm doing better without you. You're jealous because I'm living the dream that we never dreamed. You're jealous because I finally found someone that made me happy. Well, you made them happy, at a certain point, quote unquote, so to say. You made them happy, so supposedly someone else is making them happy until they find someone else to make them happy. And so, of course, they're going to create this illusion of perfection. That's why you guys got to get my book. But they're going to create this illusion of perfection, and they're always going to smear campaign you to make you look, but the question is this, is that number one, that there are some people that you're going to have to cut off. Some mutual friends that are actually, supporters of the narcissist, you're going to have to leave them alone. Those are their friends. Then you had some individual people that were their friends all along. Then they have a whole new group of friends that you don't know anything about, a whole new community, a whole new group of friends, a whole new source of supply. So of course they're going to tell their side of the story. Now, those that within that new social group, some of them are mature. And some of them know, just like some of you guys know, because you have learned when you hear someone always talking negative about the ex-spouse, always have something negative to say. And then there are some people that know them and know exactly what they're like. They just tolerate them because there's something that sometimes narcissists get something out of a narcissist too. So they just tolerate them. But push come to shove, they kind of know the history already. They just don't get involved with it. Then you do have those friends that just, once they broke up, I don't want to be involved with either one of you guys, but some of them do know the history. Some of them pay attention. You're always talking about your ex-wife, and they begin to remember, the mask falls off. Even in a social setting, in a social group, people get to know people, and people begin to understand, or they meet people. The world is not as big as you think it is. And sometimes people meet people, and when they meet people, they talk about, oh, you know her? Oh, you know him? Oh, you don't know nothing about, oh, that's so-and-so and so, and this is what they did, and this is their crook, and they're this, and they're that. They're always lying, and people laugh it off, but not everybody believes. See, most people assume that everything that the narcissist says, everybody believes. That's not true. Everybody does not believe the narcissist. And especially as they get to know the narcissist, everybody doesn't believe them. Some of them just enjoy being around them. They're funny. They're, fun to be around. You enjoy being around them. A lot of people enjoy to be around them, but that doesn't mean everybody believes them. And then there are some that are their flying monkeys that believe everything that they say. But really the whole thing about it is what is your concern? You don't have to have anything to do with the narcissist. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody, nor do you have to explain yourself to anybody. Let them talk and let them do whatever they do. Eventually the mask is going to fall off. It always does. But why are you concerned? What are you worried about? Is it affecting your job? Is it affecting your finances? Is it affecting your ability to support yourself? If not, no contact is no contact. That means don't concern yourself with what other people are saying. And when people, there are people that say, well, you just want that woman's money. You're just after her money. First of all, it's none of their business. Why are we having this conversation? This is not a conversation between the two of us. Now, if you two have this conversation and you have to put them in their place, okay, that is not between you and I. That is not a conversation between the two of us. Just get them out your business. Stop trying to explain yourself. A lot of you try so hard to explain yourself, and all you know is how protect myself, because they dogged you out so much. Protect yourself. You don't have to protect yourself. Are they messing with your money? Messing with your career? Are they messing with your livelihood? Are they messing with you raising your kids? Or, if that's the case, then you need to go through legal measures to make sure you're taken care of. There is a such thing as, what is it called? Defamation of character, where you can sue someone if they mess up, if they have, and every state is different. I'm not a lawyer, so there's disclosure there. But there is a such thing as defamation of character. And if you can prove that they are, if they're slandering your name or slander on the slander laws or defamation of character, but it begins to affect your livelihood, you lose jobs, that's why it's very important that when you write books, you get legal advice about writing the book, because you can't just write a book and just start talking about somebody because it could affect their livelihood. And if you write a book and you start telling all your business and all their business, and it affects their livelihood or messes with their finances, they can sue you because you have messed up their ability to be able to work. Likewise, if they're doing it to you, you can go and you can get a lawyer and ask them about liability. They have affected my livelihood, my ability to work. They have, messed up my job opportunities or my career path, whatever. So just ask yourself the question, how relevant is it to you? If you're no contact, then leave whatever friends they had or whoever they're talking to, those are not your friends anymore. Leave them alone. And if they have to come back and tell you everything that the narcissist is saying, they're not your friend. Get them out of your business. Stop explaining yourself. You don't have anything to explain. Who cares? I don't care. And even though in your heart you might care, you have to get to a point where I don't care. Leave it alone. That's the only way that you're going to heal. So hopefully I answered that. That I don't know if that was a question or not, but I kind of explained that a little bit. So hurt and anger kind of go hand in hand. You know, if you're seriously angry and enraged, it's probably because deep down inside you're hurt, you're offended. You know, you have been betrayed. You know, you have been embarrassed, humiliated. You know, so anger is a normal emotion to have. Hurt is a normal feeling to have, you know, after all of this. It's a process of grief and loss. So that is a process. Hurt, anger, you know, what is it? You have to go look at the 7 stages of grief. But you know, that's very, very, very normal, very common. So hopefully that helped. And I know it's a short little video. I have to get out the office. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell and make sure you hit all on there. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload videos and whenever I come on live on Sundays between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is West Coast time. I have 2 Facebook pages. One is my book, which is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. And if you have not bought my book already, make sure you go to Barnes & Noble and make sure you go to Amazon or Westbow Press. It's all down in the links under my YouTube channel, under my YouTube video. And you can order the book ebook. You can buy the hard copy. I did have one of the subscribers email me and let me know that on Barnes & Noble, the cover is incorrect. I know they just did a revision on the back of my book, and so the cover is incorrect. So I have contacted the publisher, and the publisher is contacting Barnes & Noble so they can correct that. Please forgive me, and thank you so much for letting me know. But if you order the book, you'll get the right books. Don't worry. And then also, I have another Facebook page, which is my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. That's my business. Now, sometimes I don't post I post all the videos, but certain videos I may not post to my professional Facebook page. Sometimes I have speaking engagements in other places or in a religious setting or something like that. And sometimes I'll post those on my book Facebook page. I do have a Instagram account. Don't know really what to do with it yet, you know, so I do post little things on there, but I don't have that many cameras. Some of you guys want me to go live everywhere. I don't have but 2 phones, you know, and so, but I do have an Instagram account. It's Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I do have Twitter, and I do sometimes tweet, you know, and retweet inspirational quotes or things to help you through your days, help you through your moments. Whenever I think of something to encourage you, I do tweet, and it's at Dr. Carmen Bryant 1. Also, I am on podcast. So I do have podcasts, and with the podcast, I'm starting from ground zero, and I'm working, you know, through the language, through the lingo of narcissist abuse to explain. They're not super long, but, you know, but I go through and I explain from ground zero up. On these videos, there's so many of them. You can go look through all sorts of topics. I talk about everything, you know, and so, but on the podcast, I am starting from ground zero. So I think I'm on episode 7, and I start from ground zero and I break down things and simplify it. You know, I try to simplify it so you'll understand narcissist abuse and some of the things that you've experienced. And so I am on Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and I found out I was on some other ones. I didn't even know. But you go on there and you look. I'm still waiting for a thumbs up from Pandora, but I'm waiting for that. But you can download my podcast. And so, but I thank each and every one of you. And also those of you, somebody asked me, what is the difference between coaching and counseling? And I'll talk about that the next time I come on video, because I got to get out the office, but I will respond to that. So don't worry. But look underneath the video and you will find a link. It's a sponsored link, and it is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. And on there, you can get counseling. They're a licensed counselor nationwide to assist. Miss Arlene from Canada, my little Canadian angel, she was able to connect with Irene Johnson. I think it was Eileen or Irene Johnson. Eileen or Irene. She'll put it down here when she sees the video. But she understood narcissist abuse. So she understood the whole thing. So when you guys are vetting counselors, look for someone that understands post-traumatic stress, parental alienation, you know, psychological abuse, you know, and get yourself some help, psychological help first, and get yourself connected with a good med prescriber. If you guys believe in med prescribers, you know, medications to help. You know, EMDR is really good for those of you with post-traumatic stress that have sleep problems, anxiety. It decreases anxiety. It decreases the sleep issues. Biofeedback is really good if you find someone that specializes in biofeedback. Med managers, some of you guys are more into naturopath. There is natural supplements that you can take to assist you with lowering your anxiety, you know, but For some of you, when you're dealing with post-traumatic stress and chronic post-traumatic stress, CPTSD, you need a counselor for that, not a couch. You need a counselor for that. That is what they're trained to do. Licensed mental health counselors. They have master's degree on the master's level, and some of them on a doctorate level, that deal specifically with mental health disorders, post-traumatic stress and complex post-traumatic stress or anxiety disorders. And they are trained, and they go through practicums, and they go through internships to help treat DSM mental health illnesses and disorders. That's what mental health providers do. And some of you guys don't need to invest in a coach. You need to invest in a therapist first. When you invest in the therapist and get yourself going and learn how to deal with symptomology, and then some coaches, not all of them, but some coaches, they begin to give mental health advice. That is wrong. That is unethical. You cannot do that. The mental health providers they're licensed, or they are certified through a state board, and it is regulated, meaning that we are required to take continuing educations. We are regulated. We are monitored. A lot of us belong to other organizations like the American, the American Mental Health Counselors Association. So we are under the bylaws, and we are under strict ethic guidelines in how we provide and what we provide in counseling. So some of you guys need counselors. And so with BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen, I think they give you a week free if you're having problems with your income, because it's a nominal fee. And if you're having problems with your income, I think they give you a discounted rate. But some of you guys need counseling first before you invest in a coach. You are your greatest investment. And some of you, I want to be like you, Dr. Carmen. No, you don't. You don't want to go some of the stuff that I've been through. You want to be you. Nobody can handle you like you can handle you. Nobody can handle me like I can handle me. And some of you can't handle the stress and trauma and drama that a lot of people have gone through. Some people weren't. Your drama may not be as bad as mine. Mine may not be as bad as yours. Some of you guys have some serious story. Don't ever wish to be somebody else, because you have no idea what it took for them to get to where they are. You don't know what they lost. You don't know what they go through emotionally. You don't know their story. You don't know what they go through in order to even maintain or be where they are. So never wish to be someone else. Always wish to be you and be the greatest you that you can be. You are your greatest investment. You have to invest in yourself. If you can invest in a car, if you can invest in a house, if you can get your hair did and your nails did, you can spend some money and invest in your soul, in your heart, in your emotions. Take the time and invest in yourself to heal properly. This is a lot of damage. If a house was damaged and you had house insurance, you would have to invest. You spent money on the insurance. You have to invest to get that house repaired. You have to get the foundation of that house repaired. Likewise, for many of you, you got to get the foundation repaired again. You got to find out how to heal. And so hopefully this has helped you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. She's back. She just came back from Africa. She travels a lot. So you should stay tuned. She should be coming soon. Thank you guys so much. And you guys go and be great.